resonate with us, and I think it's one that might touch many of us, and it's about distinguishing between pains. All of us go through pains in our lives, and pain comes in different forms. We go through physical pain, we go through emotional pain, we go through mental pain, relational pain. There's so many different types of pains. There's so many different types of causes of pains, and there are different effects of pains that can be produced in one's life. I think it's important, though, to first learn how to distinguish between the pain in your life and the other pains that attach itself to your pain. See, hurt people hurt people. There are people who have joined together and have become allies or become close because of pain. Be careful about joining yourself to someone because they share your same level of pain, your same level of brokenness. Love is not a bandage to cover a wound. And so oftentimes we find ourselves looking for people who have the same pains that we do. We call it struggle love, right? We were joined together in trauma. Be careful about letting trauma join you with somebody. And so I think it's important to know that some of the pain that we have is because now the pain of others has attached itself to us. And if it's not enough to carry and deal with our own pain and grow from our own pain, now we have to carry around the responsibilities of others' pains with us as well. And I don't think that's what God desires for us. I think about what Galatians chapter 6 and verse number 1 says in Scripture. If you see your brother overtaken in a fault, ye which are spiritual, restore such a one in the spirit of meekness, considering yourself. You got to be strong yourself before you enter into the ministry of reconciliation. It's like I will never jump in and try to save anybody, knowing good and well that I can't swim. So often people do the same thing as well. They try to jump in and save somebody when they can't swim themselves. How can you try to bring somebody to wholeness when you're hurting and broken yourself? And when you see somebody who has fallen over, don't give them a lecture on how they fell in the water and boat etiquette. Just throw them a flotation device and give them a chance to survive. And so there are many people out there who are drowning. And you got to be careful before you go to reach out to them. There was a saying that someone said, be careful when you stare into the abyss before the abyss starts staring back at you. And you got to know what you can handle and what you can't. And that's why you have to, and those who seek to be therapists or counselors or influence or mentors to people have to be stable themselves. So I pray that we would all examine our desire to be attached to brokenness. And if you want to fly, you can't fly with broken wings. You got to be whole. You got to be healthy, mentally and spiritually. Stability is what we all ought to desire in our lives. And there are some people who are feeding off of you. And when you're broken, you take an unhealthy infatuation, an unhealthy drawing to those type of people because they make you feel good about yourself. And there are people who are walking around talking about they're looking for somebody to complete them. You are complete in Him. You don't need a completion piece. You need a complementary piece. And once you know who you are, that begins to change everything in your life. So I pray that you would learn how to distinguish between those two things. Don't let people attach themselves to you just because they feel that you offer them something that they don't have in themselves. And you got to be careful about that. Deal with your own pain, but live in the present. Accept that there are some things that you can't change. And if you can change them, do something about them and work toward those changes in your life. God is a healer. And when the Spirit is in your life, you will be healed. And you will let your light and your energy and your love flow to others. And they can be healed as well as by your presence as by your words. Well, that's all I have today. God bless you. Make sure you join us tomorrow as I deal with 2 more spiritual disciplines. And you can find those messages on our Cedar Valley page or my Facebook page or on the Soul Stir on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe. 4 more minutes. See you Monday morning. God bless. Have a great day.